It was a real honor to be the delegate for James Bay United Church at the recent Pacific Mountain Region General Meeting held the weekend of June 11th to 13th. I have to say it was an absolutely marvelous weekend. The theme was abundance and hope, and everything about the event reflected and embodied that. Not only explicitly in the various presentations, but even more powerfully in the whole spirit of the flow of the meeting, and most especially in the various leaders themselves. I came away thinking, wow, what a team. Each one of them so competent and talented, just embodying such perseverance and faithfulness, and really such a tremendous commitment to their call. And then all of this so beautifully held together by the regional council president, Blair Odney, who led the event in such an authentic and deeply spirit-filled way. It was truly inspiring. Well, as if that wasn't enough, here are a few of the highlights that really resonated with me. First of all, the two keynote speakers. Cameron Trimble was such a dynamo. With her, the core of her message related very much to this tangible practice of active hope as we find ourselves needing to discern and move forward in new ways of being. Nadia Bowles-Weber, who focused on this wonderful vision of abundance, pointing out in her humorous way that when we find ourselves saying, but I have nothing, we so need to be reminded that nothing is God's favorite material to work with. Secondly, there were two particularly significant proposals that were voted on. One was the recommendation that the Pacific Mountain region would become an affirming region, one in which congregations that haven't already done so will have the opportunity and the resources to work through the process of officially naming and becoming and living into their support of gender and sexually diverse people, with an eye to really being supportive of people of all diversities. With solid presentation by the team that was tasked to draft this statement, and with the background of having some really good breakout discussion groups, that motion passed with overwhelming support. The other particularly momentous proposal, which will now go to General Council for consideration and action, was called Making It Right, Alberni Residential School Bringing Lost Children Home. A proposal that would offer the United Church's financial support in that process with its many hard and complex steps. Although the work behind this has been going on for 10 years, in conversation and consultation with Indigenous leaders, it was especially timely that it would come onto the table now in the wake of such tragic news of the 215 unmarked graves discovered at Kamloops Residential School. Again, a powerful time of listening and pondering and discussion and prayer led to an overwhelming vote of support. I felt it was a huge privilege to be able to vote on these two really momentous proposals. Finally, I just want to reflect what an eye-opening experience it was for me to recognize the scope, both in quality and in sheer numbers of people who make up this organization of the Pacific Mountain Regional Council that is there to support and resource and undergird us and all the congregations of this region. We are so not alone. We are part of something so much bigger than ourselves. both in terms of being connected to this great web of the United Church of Canada, and also, and powerfully, of course, connected to this mighty Spirit of God who calls us to be living and breathing parts of God's unfolding vision for us and our community and our world around us. How is that for a definition of abundance and hope?